I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review. This is another paid request, this time from Joseph. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics or reactions or commentaries or reviews, re-reviews, whatever, if I learn how to talk, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, Joseph, first off, I want to apologize for how late the review is because this is a film I couldn't find for a while. At least one that was subtitled and subtitled properly. Because I don't own the film. There'd be places that didn't have any subtitles. There'd be places where the subtitles didn't fit the film itself. Like they were lagging. And I think I even messaged him at one point and he's like, hey, how about this movie? But then I felt bad. Just like, well, yeah, I do want to do it because Joseph's been a very cool guy. So I was finally able to see it. So I didn't. Just better late than never. Once a Thief, the 1991 John Woo film. This is not the TV show. This is the one with Chow Yun-fat. I know someone's going to say, well, that's not how you pronounce his name. That's how I'm going to pronounce his name because growing up, when he was making American movies, that's what all the advertisements would call him, Chow Yun-fat. Whether it be trailers for The Replacement Killers, Bulletproof Monk, The Corruptor, they would say Chow Yun-fat. That's how I pronounce it, because it's easier for me on the tongue to do that. It's like Christopher Lambert. Some people say, well, it's really Christophe Lambert. But Christopher Lambert, that's how I grew up hearing it. Based on all the advertising, all the narrators in the trailers saying the name like that. Anyway, getting to this, I liked it. It's not the typical John Woo film. If you're expecting wall-to-wall action like The Killer, Hard Boiled, or even Hard Target, you're not going to get it. You may feel it's a bit weird because the tone seems fairly uneven between action and then goofy comedy. It'd be like, ba 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 ba. But then here's this long pull, and Chow Yun-fat's fighting the guy, and the guy's, goofily trying to avoid this big long stick. So the tone's not always even. I will say there's portions in the middle that got kind of boring. But overall, it was interesting to see John Woo do something a little bit different. I do think the ending saved it because the finale was actually pretty fun. It was kind of two mini finales. There's one where they're trying. This is about. Let me say what the plot is first so you can understand a bit. You have three thieves. You have Chow Yun-fat, this girl he's in love with, and then their buddy, this other guy. And they do these jobs to steal stuff, mainly paintings. And at the beginning of the film, you see them on a job to steal a painting. So like the girl has a dog and the dog pisses on the wooden box. Why it needs to be pissed, I don't know. It could have been a marker or something, but whatever. Dog piss. I'm like, oh great. But it's better than initial thoughts. So then Chow Yun-fat is driving with her in the car behind the armored vehicle. Chow Yun-fat's able to get inside, unlock it. Meanwhile, the third guy's on a motorcycle, slides under the thing, gets under the vehicle to drill a hole in. I'm like, where is this going? This whole plan. Where is this going? It's so that Chow Yun-fat gets the painting, rolls it up, puts in the little holder, like poster holder, goes through the hole in the floor to the guy who lays flat down. Well, he lies flat down for the girl to pick him up. And then Chow Yun-fat goes up from the ceiling in order to parachute off. I'm sitting there going, I don't get this. Because, how do I explain it? Fat and the girl were in the car. They drove right behind this thing. And he was able to just... So if that's the case, why doesn't he just do the same thing on the way back? He got on. Why does he just jump back off into the car? Like he could open the door. Hey, come over here. She drives right behind. He jumps on top. Why this whole thing where... Oh, also he's got a parachute. Why doesn't he just hold the thing? Why does he need to give it to the guy underneath for him to go under the truck in order to be picked up by Chow Yun-fat's girlfriend? Why can't Chow Yun-fat just have the thing around his neck, parachute, boom, parachute down and off the roof of the vehicle? It seems like very elaborate for something that should have been a lot easier to do. Again, Chow Yun-fat jumped onto the back of the truck, unlocks it, goes in. Why don't you have the, hey, go, come back, I got it. Jump back onto the car. Or again, why do you need the guy underneath to give the painting to and then he lays flat? I didn't understand a lot of that. Like, why did that need to happen? Why did you need to do this? If people want to explain it, feel free. I'll read the comment. But I guess, hey, otherwise, if you did like that, it would be boring. That's the only explanation. Because it would be boring, Matt. If you did that, it would be boring. Yeah, that's true. So, at least you do get a bit of backstory. You see them as 3 kids. And, you know, the father being an asshole, abusive. And then them as adults, they goof around with each other. You do get a sense of their camaraderie with each other, the 3. Like the one guy shoots a BB at the girl and she accidentally kicks Chow Yun-fat into the pool. Pretty much they get a new job, $2 million to steal his painting from a castle. They say it's going to be the last job. And then again, it almost seems like this is John Woo's kind of preamble for Mission Impossible 2. Like, hey, I can do this stuff. Maybe hire me one day. But this is 91. The first Mission Impossible had not even been made yet. But it seemed like, hey, let me set this up, and then maybe I'll do a Mission Impossible thing later. And, you know, there's some decent stunt work. You know, it's, you know, you're in a castle. There's hidden passageways. And, yeah, get over electrified floors. You gotta use the chandelier to do it. And, you know, that kind of stuff is cool. Sort of that almost adventure. I don't want to say Indiana Jones, but, you know, that kind of fun spy stuff. And, like, they use wine glasses to avoid lasers. And this is what I'm talking about the tone. Because there's literally a point where they have this silliness where, yeah, like, they use the wine in the wine glasses somehow. You can see lasers with that. I don't know if that's a real thing. to see lasers by seeing through the wine in the glass. That's what the movie says. But they're like, hey, how low can we go? How low can we go? And then it goes from that, and 2 minutes later there's a shootout where people are getting killed. I'm like, wait a minute. 2 minutes ago, we just did the how low can you go? And now we got just people trying to kill them. Now, when the action scenes happen, they're well done. John Woo knows how to film action scenes. And like I said, because this is not as much of an action until the end in this scene, so like I say, it's not one of those films that would be up there with me. Like, Bold in the Head's really good. Like, A Better Tomorrow 2 I liked. Those are 2 films I would like to get in my collection one day. What was it? The Killer, Hard-Boiled, this. They're more my cup of tea. But it's a pretty good action sequence where Chow Yun-fat's in a car, his buddy's in a motorcycle, they're driving around, good car crashes, good stunt work, good gunplay, good stunt where car jumps off a pier into a boat. Looked pretty cool. Well done. John Woo knew how to handle action. And that was his best feat. That was his best talent. And then he shied away from that, doing films like Red Cliff and all this other stuff. And then he did that. What was the fuck was that film? It was like the worst fucking film he did. I forgot what it was. That's how much I remember. I forgot what the fucking title. Now, by this point, you think Chow Yun-fat's dead. The buddy tells the Chow Yun-fat's girl what happened. Of course, she cries. Then you get a montage of those two falling in love with each other. Now, I will say this. This is the end of spoilers. This is the end of spoilers. I would say if you're a John Woo fan, it's worth a watch for Chow Yun-fat, and the last 20-30 minutes is actually pretty fun. And like I said, there's some parts of the plot I don't mind. Like the spy stuff, like, again, how they get the pain from the castle. I didn't mind that. I think John Woo has some really nice pieces of direction. Maybe not as flourishly stylish as The Killer Hard Boiled, but still pretty decent. Spoilers, I was surprised and actually glad they did not go the typical route when it comes to love triangles. Usually it would be the guy's actually alive, he finds out that his buddy's dating his old girl, there's hatred, there's anger, that'll lead to fighting, cussing, cursing, maybe even shooting. That's not the case. I actually really appreciate that. I thought that was actually refreshing. Because, spoilers here on out, you find out that Chow Yun-fat is alive, but he's in a wheelchair. Finds out his buddy and his former girlfriend are together. And again, he's not ready to shoot you or fuck you. He understands. He gets it. And again, that was kind of refreshing. I would have liked maybe 1 or 2 more like deep conversations about that. Like maybe the guy really fully get into more so like how come you're okay with this, and 1 or 2 more instead of this one scene that's like an end. It felt like it went on forever at this auction. Well, there's this charity ball dance scene. This is when the movie gets kind of boring. When Chow Yun-fat enters back into the picture in a wheelchair, it gets pretty slow because it's Chow Yun-fat fucking with his asshole dad at this auction, fake bidding to amp up the price of something. There's this dance charity ball that goes on forever. The lines being said, what room has a wall? A mushroom. No, what room has no wall? A mushroom. I'm like, God, like this like 25 minute give or take spiel. It's not really that interesting. It's not really that exciting. I didn't really feel much of an emotional. Like that could have been put more into. Like I get why you two were together. You thought I was dead. You know, I get it. Again, a little bit more deeper conversations would have been nice. Instead of Chow Yun-fat trying to dance on the floor with his wheelchair. I'm like, ah, man, this movie's losing me, man. It's losing me. And I said the tone is not the most even, but like I said the last 30 or so minutes, pretty damn good. Because they come up with another plan to rob this vault, and the one guy gets trapped in the vault, so Chow Yun-fat has to blast him out. Bad guys come in, and you get some pretty decent action bits where Chow Yun-fat is having to maneuver in the wheelchair, having to shoot while he's in the wheelchair. He's throwing bombs. I don't know if it's like C4, what it is. He'll throw bombs and then detonate them. Or there's like a bit where one of my I thought this was pretty fun. He doesn't have any more of it, so he's got to fake it. So he throws something. The guy gets scared, and he accidentally goes through a fucking window, and then goes into some actual bombs, and then that gets. I thought that. I mean, that was a pretty fun sequence. It was well handled. It was well choreographed. I liked it. The throwing the bombs, detonate them. It's kind of like a video game. You throw it like sticky, almost like a sticky bomb. Really, what it is, like it was sticky bombs, because I think one of them actually stuck to someone's head. Oh, get off! He runs away, and then you don't see the body explode, but you know it's not a gory film. So yeah, gunfire, bomb explosions, and then you get to them confronting their asshole dad, who's part of this criminal underworld. And you really get the gunplay in that. And that was fun to see. I guess that will be the killers, that will be hard-boiled, but it was pretty damn entertaining. I'm like, yes, okay. Beginning, kind of interesting, although, again, the first bit was confusing. But, you know, it was interesting. I like Chow Yun-fat. This is a guy that I think could have and should have done a lot more in America. He was really good in The Replacement Killers, I thought. Bulletproof Monk wasn't his fault. It was a bad story, a bad script, and a lousy director who never did fucking anything before or since. The Corruptor, I'm not a fan of that movie. I thought Mark Wahlberg was miscast in that. I think Chow Yun-fat should have been the lead, not Mark Wahlberg. That's one of the things that annoys the fuck out of me with that. And Mark Wahlberg I've liked in the what the hell? The Big Hit. I'm going off tangent. But this finale where, and this surprised me, and it made me laugh. The dad's like, you know, shooting the legs of Chow Yun-fat. And then he just jumps out and does a jump kick. And you realize for this bit, he's been faking that he was in a wheelchair. That's been part of the scam. And he didn't tell anybody, including his buddy or the girlfriend. And I guess it's someone else who did martial arts, because I don't think of Chow Yun-fat as a martial artist guy. But then it's like being over the top with... So it's like that's trying to be comedic. But then you get some pretty good, fun action pieces. Like making a little bomb in a microwave, and then it explodes, and there's a basketball in front, so this fireball basketball shoots out and hits a guy and blasts through a window. Or you have this guy who throws cards as if he's fucking Gambit from X-Men to try to stick you. And so Chow Yun-fat is trying to... He also has this like flame. And so Chow Yun-fat trying to spit. But then he accidentally spits... He actually... Again, one of my favorite parts. He accidentally drinks poison. He finally gets it out. But it's like... And right when the guy hits the flame... And because there was much more of a explosive combination because it's this poison thing. The guy makes the guy right on fucking fire. And you get some, some nice gunplay, which I don't want to give all that away. Just, at the very least, it's worth a watch for, like I said, the previous scene with the vault and the bombs, the sticky bombs, and this scene here. I thought that was rather entertaining. I'm like, okay, ended with a bang. It didn't go the typical love triangle route. That was kind of refreshing. Because again, usually it would go with, you have my girlfriend, fuck you, we're enemies now. Blah, 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 blah. Or one would die, and then one would get back with his girl. I'm like, wow, I'm rather surprised. Then this is what I'm talking about with the uneven tone. You did some pretty violent stuff in that. But then the very end, spoiler again, Chow Yun-fat is the godfather of the new couple and their kid. And you have like this very silly, although it did make me laugh, I will admit. It did his job and made me laugh. Because Chow Yun-fat with glasses, taking care of babies, and it's like speeding up the camera. And then he's tossing stuff, and he accidentally tosses a baby. And then the baby's like in this dollhouse, and his legs are kicking. Ah! Oh no! That made me laugh, because I'm always like, kick a baby through a field goal. I'm like, he just threw a baby. Through a fucking dollhouse. I didn't expect it. I didn't see it coming. I'm like, again, weird tone. Not a typical John Woo film. The middle portion, not the most exciting, to be fair. But a pretty bang-up finale. Like I say, the car chase, the pier sequence, that's pretty decent. The Chow Yun-fat, nice to see him in there. The other two are fine. But I like Chow Yun-fat. I don't know why they don't get him for a John Wick movie. Well, I know why, because he doesn't like guns. That's the thing. People don't realize Chow Yun-fat, he does not like guns. He doesn't like guns, doesn't like shooting guns. He did this because it was work, it was a job. But he doesn't really like doing that stuff. So that's why. If you're wondering, why does he never do it again? Because he's not into that stuff. He never really was. But he's so good at it. You're so good at it, man. But he'll never do that again. Which is too bad, but face reality. So overall, I liked it. I did like the film. I didn't love the film, but I liked it. Like I said, it's John Woo trying to do something a little bit different. I've heard nothing but bad stuff about the TV show, so I never care to watch that shit. If you want to watch Once a Thief, this is the better option. Like I said, it's not up there with... Like, for me, with John Woo, it's always going to be this film. I love this film to death. Hard Target. Then, to be fair, the more I think about it, Hard Boiled. Then Broken Arrow. Although I really do love Broken Arrow, I find it underrated. I probably still would have to say Hard Boiled. The more I think about it. So that's the thing with lists. They change for me. Like 2 is 3, then 3 is 2. Hard Target, Hard Boiled, Broken Arrow. Bullet in the Head I really, really enjoyed. I was surprised by that. Really enjoyed Bullet in the Head. The Killer's really good. Better Tomorrow 2 is good. I liked Paycheck. I know I'm alone in that. I like Paycheck. I like the story, the plot of Paycheck quite a bit, actually. I don't know where the ranking would be. Hero Shed No Tears I liked. This one I liked. Yeah, think about it. Yeah, I would say I like this more than Mission Impossible 2. I'm sorry. If you like Mission Impossible 2, that's cool. I like this more. I liked it more than Face Off. I'm sorry. I've never been a big Face Off guy. I would rather watch this than Face Off. Yeah, this has weird tone too, but I think Chow Yun-fat does better here than Nicolas Cage. I'm sorry. He just annoyed the shit out of me in that movie. But I reviewed that film. I'm sorry. If you disagree, that's cool. No harm, no foul. So overall, I enjoyed it though. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.